The next question says find the greatest number of 4 digits. Again, this is the concept of greatest number of 4 digits which must be added to 5231 so that the final number becomes exactly divisible by all these numbers. So this is just similar to the previous question that we dealt. So we can just quickly try to solve it. For example, here the greatest number becomes 4 times 9, and then they say which must be added to 5231. So if we add this for now, then we get 13 and we get 12 and then we get 15 here. Then they say it must be exactly divisible by all these numbers. So we'll just write these numbers here, 27, 32, and then we have 40. So this becomes 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 3. This becomes 5 multiplied by 3. This here becomes 3 raised to the power 3 here. And this we can write in the form of 2 raised to the power 5. This becomes 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 5. तो इसको हम इस फॉर्म में लिख सकते हैं. Okay, this is not the case here. This will become 2 raised to the power 3, like 8 5 is 40. So here if we try to find out the LCM will get us 2 raised to the power 5 because it is the highest part that we have for now. Then we have 3 raised to the power 3 and then we have just 5 raised to the power 1. So 32 multiplied by 27 multiplied by 5 here. So on multiplying, we'll get 4320. Like 4320 is the least common multiple of all these numbers. So then we have this particular number here. So we'll divide 15230 by 4320 to check whether this number is divisible by this number or not. And then we'll see the remainder and then we'll subtract the remainder from this particular number. So this here will go by 3, and if we multiply this by 3, what we get is 12960. And then subtracting here we get 7, then here we get 11, then we get 2 here and we get again 2 here. So this will be the number. So we need to subtract 2270 from 15,230, which will in turn give us this number itself, right? 12,960. So 12,960, and we need to subtract 5231 from it because they're asking the greatest number of 4 digits and not the final number. Then it becomes 9, 2, 7 and 7, which means 7729 will be the answer for this particular question. So option D is correct. This is very similar to the previous question that we did. Then the next question is a word problem. Okay, so now the next question here is basically a word problem, and it says a heap of stones can be made up into groups of 21. So basically there is a heap of stones. For example, we can imagine this to be a heap of stones and this can be made into groups of 21, which means इनमें से हम 21 stones लें तो ऐसे बहुत सारे groups बन सकते हैं, यानी कि one group has 21 stones. This is what this first statement means. Then focusing upon the second statement, it says when made up into groups of 16, 20, 25 and 45, there are 3 stones left in each case. यानी इसी हीप के अगर हम पहले हम मान लो 16 के ग्रुप्स बना रहे हैं, जैसे अभी हमने 21 के बनाए, तो अगर हम 16 स्टोन्स के ग्रुप्स बना रहे हैं तो कितने ग्रुप्स बन रहे हैं उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. बट व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज 16 अगर हम स्टोन्स के बनाएंगे ग्रुप्स, देन 3 स्टोन्स विल बी लेफ्ट. यानी कि अगर हम इस पूरे जितने भी यहाँ पे स्टोन्स अगर हम उनको x मान लें, तो if we divide x by 21 then the remainder is equal to 0. लेकिन अगर हम x को डिवाइड करेंगे 16 से, the remainder will be equal to 3. This is what they are basically saying अगर हम इस लैंग्वेज को मैथमेटिकल उसमें कन्वर्ट करने का ट्राई करें तो. एंड सेम इज द केस फॉर कि अगर हम जो इस हीप में जितने भी स्टोन्स हैं अगर हम उनको 20 के कैटेगरी में बनाए तो 25 के में एंड इवन 45 के ग्रुप में. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वन ग्रुप हैज 45 स्टोन्स, तो इस केस में भी 3 स्टोन्स जो है वो रह जाएंगे, विच मीन्स देर इज अ कॉमन रिमाइंडर. यानी कि ये उस टाइप का क्वेश्चन हो गया कि if there is a number, if it is divided by 21, then the remainder is 0. But if this particular number जो हमने यहाँ पे x माना है, if it is divided by 16, 20, 25 and 45, then the remainder that we receive is equal to 3. So basically इस form में है ये question. Then they say how many stones at least can there be in the heap. तो यानी कि हमें x की वैल्यू निकालनी है कि least number क्या होना चाहिए x का, कम से कम कितने स्टोन होने चाहिए ताकि ये सिचुएशन फॉलो अप हो पाए, कि ये ट्रू हो पाए कि अगर हम 21 के में बनाएंगे तो एक भी स्टोन नहीं बचेगा, अगर हम 16, 20, 25, 45 के ग्रुप्स में बनाएंगे then there will be just 3 stones left. So since we have the number x here, तो पहले हमने इनका LCM ले लेता है. For example, first we'll focus upon 16, 20, 25 and 45, and later on we'll check the divisibility by 21, because in case of 21 stones the remainder, यहाँ पे हम stones लिख देते हैं, the remainder becomes 0. In case of 16, 20, 25 and 45 stones, what happens is the remainder is 3, यानी कि 3 stones रह जाता है. So we'll check by 21 later. First we'll focus upon this. तो इस केस में हमें यहाँ पर LCM निकालना है. That is the most basic thing here. So this can be written as 2 raised to the power 4. This can be written as 2 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 5. This can be written as 5 raised to the power 2. And this here can be written as 3 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 5. यानी कि 9 5 is 45. तो इस तरीके से हमने लिख लिया. Then if we try to find out the least common multiple, it becomes 2 raised to the power 4 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 5 raised to the power 2. तो भैया हम मैक्सिमम पावर्स ले रहे हैं और सारे बेस को इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं, नो मैटर इफ द बेस डज नॉट अकर इन ऑल ऑफ दीज नंबर्स. तो ये पहले वीडियोस में हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, हाउ डू वी फाइंड आउट लीस्ट कॉमन मल्टीपल. सो व्हेन वी राइट दीज नंबर्स इट बिकम्स 69 multiplied by 25, and on solving this we'll get the least common multiple as 3600, यानी कि ये हमारा आंसर हो जाता है in this case. So this is the least common multiple, which means कि जो heap of plus also plus c. Here what happens is they say that 3 stones are left. तो LCM तो ये है लेकिन हमें रिमाइंडर 3 चाहिए, तो हमें 3 ऐड भी करना पड़ेगा. तो लीस्ट नंबर तो ये बन रहा है, बट हेयर वील राइट, सपोज यू कैन राइट y here, because x तो हमने ऊपर वो नंबर के लिए लिया था. सपोज आई राइट y here, तो y बेसिकली डिनोट्स कि जो ये पूरा नंबर होएगा दिस विल बी अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 3600 प्लस इन एडिशन 3. तो इस नंबर को, दैट इज द नंबर वी कैन राइट हियर अगेन. फॉर एग्जांपल we can write this number again in the form 3600 by plus 3. तो this means कि this whole number, अब हमने इन सब numbers की तो condition satisfy कर दी. Coming to the condition of 21 के जो remainder है वो 0 होना चाहिए. In this case we need to put up such value of y here कि ये case भी satisfy हो, यानी कि the remainder becomes 0 when we divide this whole number by 21. So in this case what happens is if you put the value of y as 1, the number that we receive is equal to 3603 अगर हम y की वैल्यू को 1 रखते हैं तो. But if we check by dividing this particular number by 21, then the answer that we are getting is in decimals, यानी कि जो रिमाइंडर है वो 0 नहीं आ रहा है. So this 1 cannot be the value of y. Then when we check it by 2, see this becomes 7200 plus 3, so it becomes 7203. And if we check by dividing 7203 by 21, then the remainder that we receive will be equal to 0, which means that the least value, obviously हमें least value देखनी है, इसके बाद तो वो कितने भी multiples हो सकते हैं. तो फिर least value में देखो 2 is the correct answer here, यानी कि जब हम इसकी वैल्यू को 2 पुट करेंगे तभी हमें least value मिलती है जो कि है 7203. So this will be the answer, यानी कि जो minimum stones होने चाहिए इस पूरी heap में, at least can there be in this particular heap जिसमें सारे stones present है, तो that should be equal to 7203. So basically we need to relate this type of question with the other questions that were written directly in the mathematical form. तो इसमें बस conversion का थोड़ा सा case है, rest this question is also good question. Thank you.